Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Rimworld Alpha 14. Now, although I've Let's Played this game several times in the past, I think I'll just give a sort of brief overview of what the game's about, especially considering I'm sure a lot of people are looking into the game now that it's had its sort of official Steam launch. So yes, as I'm sure every other Let's Player has probably compared this game to, it's a lot like Dwarf Fortress and I suppose like Prison Architect and those types of games. And the difference is I'd say it's basically like Dwarf Fortress, but with Prison Architect graphics and obviously a different setting, and it's a lot less complex than, you know, Prison Architect or Dwarf Fortress is. But anyways, let's actually just get into the game, and I think I'll explain it a little bit better when we're actually playing. So, new colony. And I think when I did my sort of stupid little video where I looked at all the changes made to the game and commented on them, like 8 days ago, I said I didn't want to do tribes people because it messed up. It basically makes research a lot harder, but I think I'm going to do it because otherwise, I mean, I don't want to do the generic scenario that I've always done, and I don't want to do this because, I don't know. I guess I probably will do this eventually, but for now, I don't really feel like doing this. But I will, yeah, I'll do this, I think. And it'll be interesting starting out with 5 people, because obviously you normally start with 3, so having 2 extra people might make a really big difference. The only problem is that I always tend to be really anal when it comes to the person selection, the colonist selection, so hopefully I don't go too crazy with having 5 choices. Although if anything, I can be less crazy because I can settle a bit better for people that don't have like perfect skill sets. So anyways, yes, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do Cassandra Classic as I always do just because, I don't know, I just enjoy Cassandra Classic the best. And actually, it's funny, although I meant to sort of do a Let's Play of this game 3 days ago when the alpha just came out, it was, I guess, almost a blessing in disguise that I didn't do that, because apparently Tynan released this alpha, like, kind of broken, because apparently half the events in the game, because this game, for those of you that don't know, it thrives on random events occurring. And actually, let's just do this first, because I'll look for a place while I'm talking about this. Oh yeah, and for some reason the seeds now randomize names instead of random, like, strings of numbers and letters. Yeah, let's do the maximum size, and I guess I'll do Pain. Yeah, let's go for Pain. That sounds like a pleasant world. Zubin El Shamali. Oh, that's a nice name. It looks like Europe, kind of, doesn't it? Actually, it really does look like Europe, except, like, more Pangea-ish. You know what I mean? Like, this kind of looks... Yeah, it kind of does. Whatever. Alright, so anyways, as I was saying, when Tynan released this alpha, apparently something he did basically broke half the events in the game and prevented them from launching at all. So this game thrives on random events. Like, that's kind of the whole point of it, is you're trying to survive with a bunch of random events constantly being thrown at you. And apparently half the random events didn't even function when the game had its release. So I guess it's a kind of a blessing in disguise, because at the very least I won't be playing a game that's half broken. So that's nice. So yes, anyways, I think I'm going to do Jungle again. If you remember, those of you who might have watched my previous ones, I tried Jungle Alpha 13 and it kicked my ass so hard. And it's, I think, especially because there was a bunch of diseases that are added, and when I read the changelog, Tynan did nerf a bunch of the diseases you can get in the jungle, so it should actually be a little bit easier now. I don't have to worry about like 90% of my colonists having some terrible disease that makes them completely useless. And I will have 5 colonists to start with, so that should help me a bit. So yeah, I think jungle's a good choice. And anyways, tribal people like jungles, right? So I guess it fits. So I won't go too anal like I tend to go, and I keep saying the word anal. I should probably stop. I don't know. Yeah, let's just choose, I think, here. Tropical rainforest, large hills. Sounds good. Last time I did jungle, I did like an underground base. So this time I think I'll do like an outside base instead of a mountain one. So I think small hills will work, or large hills, I should say. So yeah, let's choose large hills. The only thing with rainforest that makes things easy is you have year-round growing periods, but as you'd expect, the jungle is kind of unforgiving. And here we have 5 people we can choose from. She actually seems pretty decent. She's incapable of violent, but whatever. I might want to deal with that. Okay, I'm okay with like 1 or 2 pacifists, but what the hell? Apparently 3 out of my 5 people are pacifists to start with, so I don't really want that. Yeah, it's going to be hard trying to find people. Yeah, you're not bad. apparently apparently you start out with malnutrition, or you can, I guess. That's interesting. Huh. I guess maybe it's because the tribes people don't have food to start with, so you actually start out with a bunch of malnutrition. Interesting. Yeah, I won't go too crazy just because we have 5 people to choose from, so I don't have to worry about, like, min-maxing all this junk as much. I don't want a bunch of pacifists, though, I'll tell you that much. That's not too bad. And I think in general, maybe these guys start out with a lower research. I'm not sure, though. Huh. He seems interesting. Brixo. Okay, no, you know what's gonna suck, though? Everyone's gonna have really messed up names because this is a tribesman people, or a tribesman group. So they're all gonna have really stupid and weird generated names, and I'll not be able to pronounce any of them. So that'll be fun. Yeah, that's not bad. I guess that's okay. And I used to always hate abrasive, like, right away, but I think Tynan at some point nerfed the effects of the abrasive trait, because those can really screw you over. And yeah, I didn't really explain this at all. I said I was going to explain things for people that might not know anything about the game, but obviously these are all your skills, and they do a wide variety of things. Trying to explain them all right away would take a lot of time, so I'm not going to bother, but you also get traits. And those traits, you know, give you like a random effect. So like, you know, walk faster, green thumb, you can grow things a bit better. There's a lot of different things the traits do. And some of them are can really mess your guys up. But usually I've noticed when you've got a really bad trait, you have really high skills. So you sort of just have to gamble as to whether or not you want, you know, do you want something like abrasive, but he also is really good at researching and crafting? You know, it's like you have to sort of find the offsets. And I really try avoiding these because I don't know how it is anymore, but mental breaks are just so easier. They used to be. I don't know if Tynan, like, balanced out the mental breaks at all, but they used to be so annoying. Okay, I've got 2 people. Yeah, I don't want 2 people incapable of dumb labor. I'm okay with 1, but 2 is no good. That's fine, too. I think all our people are young, aren't they? Yeah, all of our people are under 42. So that's fine. I guess that makes sense, though, because tribes people don't exactly have access to good medicine. So, yes, there we go. This is our beginning group. We've got Minoka. I don't know what that little thing above the N makes that word sound like, so I'm just going to say Minoka. Legua. Okay, Minoka, Legua, Lyrebird, Brixo, and Pizza. Okay. Pizza. Pizza? I'll say pizza. I'll call him Pizza. That works. Alrighty then. Oh, and it's interesting. Okay, we can actually read a different intro thing now, unlike the your craft is ripping apart thing that I read like 30 times before. The gods were very angry. The blood machines came at night. They swept through your village, cutting and burning your people with their blades and devil fire. Only a few of you escaped. Now, after a harrowing journey on foot, with no close friends to turn to, you must build a new home in the wilderness, like your ancestors did. So I wonder if this is supposed to be referencing, like, the mechanoids or what? Like, the mechanoids decide to take your village out? Yeah, it doesn't really... I don't know what blood machines really are, but whatever. Oh, wow, I don't have to see... That's a weird thing. It's kind of weird not seeing those pods crashing down to the ground. You actually are on foot already. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the map. There's a lot of pre-built structures. Like, look at all these structures. I wonder if this was something added to the alpha to make that more common, or if we're just kind of weird, or if this is just a weird map. Yeah, look at all these structures. That's crazy. I might want to try to utilize one of them for myself. Actually, if I wanted to make a little city, I could make one over here. But I don't really want to move all our people that far away. Actually, no, that's not really that far away. That actually might be a decent place to start with. We've got, like, this natural wall, sort of. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I could see this being, like, our base already. Is there anything... There's one geothermal vent down here, though. There's one down there as well. Yeah, just trying to make a good decision to start with, because I don't always do that. Oh, and I won't have all the... Oh yeah, there's not a bunch of steel and survival meals scattered across the map. That'll be interesting to have to deal with. And our people are starving to begin with, aren't they? So I think I'm going to have to send them all hunting. Okay. I think... What is my decision? I mean, yeah, I guess I might as well start out here. And I can move around if I have to. So, you know what? I'm going to make this sort of my beginning area right here. Yeah, first let's take a look at all these resources. Oh yeah, we have like no steel to start with, so that is a very interesting thing, is we have like no steel whatsoever. Let's make a... That's weird. It just says door, so you actually have to... That's interesting. It used to always choose wooden as default, but now it just starts out as a generic, like, nothing, and you have to choose yourself. So yeah, you know what? I think I'll make this as a sleeping area to start out with right away. That seems like a good idea. What else should I do? I don't have to worry about too much. I think what I should really get worried about is getting our initial food, because we don't start out with any food. So I will... First, actually, I want to equip people. Oh, yes, priorities. That's always fun to deal with, isn't it? Okay, so... First, let's just see who's good with what. Yeah, you're not good with anything, really. There's a wooden spear and a pila. Okay. Yeah, let's just take a look at who has what skills. So, yes, Legua. I'll give you a pila, I guess. Lyrebird, you can have a short bow, I suppose. Yeah, you're not really good with anything, so I'll just give you a club, I guess. I don't think clubs are that useful, all things considered. It's interesting how most of our people that are good with combat are good in both, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really notice that. Yeah, you can't even use a weapon, so I'm not even gonna bother giving you one. So yeah, everyone's got a weapon now. Actually, you have a... Is that a pylon? No, that's a spear. Yeah, actually, I want to give you a bow, because I prefer ranged weaponry, at least to start with. So we start with pemmican, which I think is a new... Yeah, it's a new resource. Oh, you can eat it, actually. Apparently, it takes a very long time. It lasts a very long time without... Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think this must be food. Interesting. I think I read that pemmican's good for, like, preserving things, but I'm not quite sure how the pemmican works exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a food you can... Yeah, I don't think it is a food, actually. Does it even say anything about... Yeah, it says... Okay, so it's not really even a food. It says nutrition is 0.05, and I think that's basically nothing. Alright. So anyways, I'll have to adapt to some of the new things in the game, but hey, at least I have quite a bit of experience in the game. And I'm going to do the priorities right away. It's never the most fun thing to do, but I have to do it eventually, so I'd rather just do it now. And I'd like to explain how I do... Okay, what the hell am I doing? Yes. Okay, yes. There. It's been a while since I've played, if you can't tell. Okay, so I'm going to do... Those of you that don't know anything about how this works, basically, these are all the skills that you saw earlier, right? But this is the priorities of all of them, and you can just do this where it just goes from left to right depending on which ones are checkmarked, but I like to go a bit more specific. And what it basically does is it keeps going from left to right, and it starts with 1, then it goes to 2, then it goes to 3, and 4, and then whatever. So it just goes from left to right, high priority to lower priority, from that particular number you checkmarked. So something that's a 1 will always be before something that's a 2, but something that's a 1 to the left will always be higher than something that's a 1 to the right, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to do this right away. I'll do a 1 for all the things that are useful. Yeah, I remember someone complained like a lot in one of my earlier videos about the way I did this, but I think they don't even understand what half of these do, because bed rest only has to do, yeah, it says recuperate from not immediately life-threatening medical problems. And I think he thought that bed rest just meant like sleeping as a whole, but it really has specifically to do with being like if you're injured in some way. And I like that because a lot of times I don't notice when someone's, greatly injured. Also, the game seems really loud on my end. There's crickets or whatever the hell they're supposed to be. We only have 1 doctor. I'll do a 4 for those just in case I need to use... In case Minoka gets taken out right away, which I wouldn't be surprised about. I'll do flicking number 1 too, because this has to do with electrical switches, which we aren't going to have to worry about for a while, but... flicking is something that's always manually designated, and that's what I usually do when I do this, is I like to make everything a 2 that's manually designated pretty much. Or everything a 1 that is something that's mostly manually designated or something that's life-threatening. So obviously being a patient or having a disease where you need bed rest, I think it makes sense to make that a 1. And everything that people aren't, you can see like those little flames that are by each skill, and those flames have to do with what particular, like their ability to learn that skill. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's like their motivation or some weird, I don't know, it's something like that. So obviously you want to make something that someone really wants to do a 2 or a 1 or a 2 for the most part. It kind of sucks having to do this right away. Actually, you know what I need to do? I need to focus on each person at a time because I'm trying to do all of these at once and it kind of doesn't help me. Yeah, I'll make a 3 for all the things that are important because a lot of things, like as you can see, growing, constructing, mining, all that stuff's pretty important, but some of our people aren't very good at it, so I just make it a 3 for the people that aren't very good with that skill. But if it's still important, I want them to be able to do it if they have the time, if you know what I mean. I tend to also make mining or hunting a 1 for at least one person, because hunting is another thing that's manually designated. So usually if you're telling people to hunt, it means you really need food. Yeah, I don't really want him to be a handler. I do have 2 potential wardens, so that's useful. Yeah, it'll probably be a lot easier to recruit people because we actually have, you know, a bunch of people that we can put forth to do things like that. Okay, let me just look through this really quickly. Yeah, hauling, I like making hauling a 2 usually, because I'd prefer someone to haul if they can over doing something like mining if they're not very good at it, if that makes sense. And we do have 2 researchers. I guess the question is which researcher has other things he's not very good at. Okay, Lyrebird isn't really good at anything else, so he'd probably be a really good researcher. I'll make research a 1 as well, just because that's something that's also, like I said, it's manually designated kind of. So if he has the time to do it, or if I tell someone to research something, I usually want that as soon as possible. Alright, so yes, that's fun. That's always fun looking through that junk. And what the hell is this? A Dorian? Oh, he's... Okay, I'm like, what the hell is this thing? It's our Yorkshire Terrier, but he's melded with our... He has melded with our herbal medicine. So I was a bit confused there. Alright, so yes. After doing all that lovely fun with designation, actually I think I'll let time go by for a little bit, and I'll keep looking through this on my own so you guys can actually see gameplay rather than just clicking numbers and such. Yeah, this is definitely one of the least fun things that you have to start out with. Oh yes, and that's another thing. I forgot, roofs are something that are actually craftable now. There aren't just roofs. Roofs don't just all craft themselves by their own. You have to actually make them yourself, which is quite interesting. I mean, it's not that big of a change. I don't think it'll really screw us over or anything, but it definitely is a difference. Alright, so for now, I'm just going to place these because chances are by the time it's nightfall and they're all sleepy, I won't have very much done. Now, it sounds like we're very hungry, so we should probably hunt. Actually, one thing I could do first is we are in a tropical rainforest, so it would also be a good idea to just harvest plants that have berries and whatnot, so I'm going to do that too. Oh yes, and there's a bunch of new animals added, so that's going to be interesting. There's a cassowary. Sounds like a thing that would kill us. I remember the cassowaries, I think, from, what, Far Cry 3 or something, and they were the biggest annoyances. And they're not big, they weren't the biggest annoyances, but they were just kind of very hostile, and it was kind of humorous watching a giant bird just run after you like crazy. Even though you've got a freaking machine gun, and it just doesn't care. Okay. I'm trying to look for some good animals. There's a lot of cassowaries, and there's these guys, and I don't want to deal with boomalopes because boomalopes scare me. Yeah, there's not that many animals to start with. Yeah, normally I remember there used to be a lot more like snakes and stuff in the jungle, but now it seems like instead of snakes, there's a lot of like cassowaries. There is alpacas. Yeah, I'll try taking out these cassowaries, which I'm afraid of them because I feel like cassowaries might be things that can kill us very easily. I just have like an innate fear of cassowaries. Let's see how the hunting goes. Oh, wow, 2 hits. Well, good job, Legua. Oh, wow, 1 hit. Jeez. Either Legua's really good with shooting. Oh, yes, unfortunately, though, that's kind of a pointless thing that I just did right there. Killing those stupid birds doesn't really do much if we don't have a means of turning them into food. Even though you'd think being a tribe they wouldn't need anything to actually make food, but they do. Oh yes, and we can make a crafting spot to start with. Okay, let's make a butcher table right away. Now, obviously the way that these houses are organized, this is really inefficiently placed, so I'm not going to actually use most of these houses for anything. I just kind of want this one building for houses to start with. Fortunately, I can just put a butcher table outside because it doesn't exactly need electricity or anything. And if you put something that generates electricity outside, it'll short circuit and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, I think I'll just place this just like right here for now. Yeah, I don't really want to figure out how I want my home exactly placed quite yet. Right now, I just want food, I think, more than anything. It is kind of weird starting out with 5 people. What are my people doing anyways? It doesn't say that they're... Huh. It doesn't say that my people have a problem with anything like, what is it, idling? But it seems like they're all idling. Yeah, I should probably figure out what everyone should do. Actually, you know what? I think just to get a bunch of wood to start with and to have a nice clearing, I'm just going to cut down all of this. And I mean, we have 5 people, so it'll be a lot quicker than when you start out with 3 people. I mean, we've got, 2 whole extra hands to help us out. So I'm going to do this right away, and then I'm going to try to, I think, figure out how I want everything placed. Yeah, this is a really nice wide open area right here, so we've got all kinds of room for anything we really want. Okay, yes, I'm forgetting the one thing that's kind of really important. Hunting and stuff is nice, but being able to actually grow your own food is a pretty high priority, so I think it's a good idea to find a good growing area. And actually, this is marsh. And if you look in the bottom left, I believe marsh has a... Oh, it doesn't even say... Oh, actually, marsh is less fertile. I didn't know that. I thought marsh would be more fertile than regular soil, but apparently not. That's interesting. Yeah, I always thought marsh was more fertile just because, marsh is a pretty fertile thing, but I guess not. Huh. Well, the more you know, and knowing is half the battle, or something like that. Alright, yeah, let's start growing food. We do have 5 people, so I will have to sort of step up the amount of growing I'm doing to start off with. Like normally you can sort of live with only having like a couple small growing zones, but we've got 5 people to start with, so we have a large food demand right off the bat. Also, I cannot see these growing zones very well at all. I'm not sure if it's because of the grass or if it's just something weird. Yeah, I really can't see the growing zones like at all, which is kind of annoying the hell out of me. Also, shit. I don't want to do that because I want to make a bunch of separate zones. I don't want to have just one big zone for one plant. So yes, what I'm going to do then... Oh man, things are different. Oh my. Yeah, there's no longer a growing thing in the bottom left. There's a thing over here now. I hate when small changes like that are made in a game like this, just because... I don't know, it's just you get so used to certain placements of like things that when something like this gets changed in an early access game, it's just so hard to get used to it. What? Okay. You what, mate? I'm a bit confused here. Okay, I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing is what happened. Alright, I guess I'll make... And now things actually take minimum skills. Interesting. So if we want to make healing plants, we actually need to have really good growers. So that is something that we have to think about now. Alright, I'll do potatoes, I guess. Corn. And then some rice. And that's already there, so that works. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that's a high priority, is having growing done. So I'll let them continue cutting this stuff down. It fortunately won't take them too long because... Like I said, we've got 2 whole extra hands than we'd normally have if we played this game. So yeah, I'm just going to let them do their little growing and such. This game is quite, I don't know, I'd say, depending, let me put it this way, it's a relaxing game when you're not being attacked. It's like a pretty simple, easy game to watch, especially. But when you're under attack by like a raid, that changes things drastically. Like it gets, at least in my opinion, it gets really stressful when you're actually being attacked and you have to worry about things. And why are you planting daylilies? What the hell? Why okay, was that there the whole time? Oh, I accidentally clicked on daylily instead of potato plant. Jeez. Okay, well that was a waste of time. I just planted all those stupid daylilies. I guess if anything, I grinded their skills up a little. I suppose that's a good thing. Okay, do we have 3 pets or 2? Okay, we've got 2 pets. We've got Dorian and Nana. A female husky and a male Yorkshire Terrier. I really wish there was like alien dogs and such, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird how this game is all about being on like an alien planet. Oh, there's rats now. Yet, even though it's about, you know, a game all about being on an alien planet. Oh wait, I need to tell them to do this. Yeah, no wonder. We actually need to have someone to do that, and I'll just do forever. Okie dokie then. Okay, yeah, let's look at the animal screen. Oh, we do have 3. We've got Mortimer. Where the hell's Mortimer? Oh, we've got a cat. Interesting. We've got a cat named Mortimer. Oh, and it seems like the training is all changed up too, isn't it? Yeah, interesting. I guess I'll start with obedience training right away, especially with Nana, because Nana can do things like haul and rescue, and that will be really useful. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm not used to. It's funny, though, too, how a lot of small changes can really make a big difference, like, mentally, while you're playing. And actually, you know what? I think this video is pretty damn long, so I think I'm going to end it here, so... What is that? I don't know. Anyways, though, thank you all for watching. Hopefully next time I'll actually start on, like, a base and whatnot. I mean, we do have sleeping arrangements and whatnot, but I wouldn't exactly call this a base yet. So yes, next time I'll actually probably get started on building things, and oh yes, we'll probably actually start getting resources other than wood, because unfortunately we can't just rely on all the stuff from the ship crash like you could on the regular scenario. So anyways, thank you all for watching, and hope to see you next time. Goodbye.